So it's very, very important to appreciate why you are using the products that are in the market in America armamentarium. It's because they are evidence-based. We keep saying this over and over again. And the science keeps advancing, and your company keeps doing studies to improve and to validate really what you guys have. And it's the reason that Market America is so successful. So if I could leave you with a few points, circulation is really important. Rapid blood flow is very important. Making certain your immune system is active but not overactive is really important. Pick the right nutrients to feed your circulatory system, antioxidants, flavonoids, OPC3. Thank you all very much for your time and your courtesy.
Well, the reason why I'm taking isotonic products is because I had a 17-year NBA career, and from that I have a lot of joint problems. I know that I'm aging, and I've tried a lot of products, and I've found that the isotonic product, especially OPC3, has done a tremendous job for me.
And I got to tell you, I couldn't be more excited about the launch of Isotonic Champion Blend Plus. The product is exactly what I wanted it to be, combining the power of the brand Isotonics and the nutrients of Champion Blend Plus. Of course, we included our most powerful antioxidant, so you will get all the benefits of OPC3. With the addition of branched-chain amino acids and select activated B vitamins, you will have enhanced energy and metabolism to help you power through the toughest of days. Now you have a winning product that can be used by men and women to feel their best. And remember, it's all about the science. Together, we are changing the way people take vitamins. Love you guys. Have a great
Isotonics, the world's most advanced nutraceutical taken orally. Isotonics refers to the form by which the supplement is delivered into your body. Isotonic means having the same fluid pressure as body fluids. This all-natural delivery method reduces the time it takes for your body to absorb the nutrients. Normally, when you ingest a daily vitamin or nutritional supplement tablet, your body must work up to 4 hours digesting and absorbing the vitamins and nutrients. During this lengthy breakdown process, a percentage of the nutritive value is lost. But because Isotonics products are powders, the fillers, binders, coatings, and lubricants that are common to tablet manufacturing are not necessary. And the inactive natural ingredients and flavoring also make the product taste great. Faster and more efficient absorption into the bloodstream increases the value of taking nutritional supplements. Always follow the directions on the label when taking any nutritional supplement. Isotonics products become isotonic when mixed with the appropriate amount of water. You simply mix the product, stir, and drink. It's that easy. Isotonics.
It is our goal today to kind of simplify things in the world of health just a little bit by giving you information that you may not be aware of. Now, ultimately, I'm hoping that you'll see the value in supplementation. But no matter what, just by sitting through this presentation, you're going to learn some things about our food that you may not have known before. Things that I believe make supplementation critical. One of the big misunderstandings when it comes to health is that health is simple, and it's really not. You see, most of us base many of our decisions on health off of, well, something that may not be a total truth. We're taught that all you really have to do is eat right, right? But when choosing to eat right, very often we use something called the recommended dietary allowance to make our decisions. As a matter of fact, food labels are based off of the RDA. And you would think that if you ate 100% of every nutrient that was on there, you'd have a relatively healthy life. However, according to the former chair of the RDAs are not recommendations for the ideal diet. The term recommended allowance is used to avoid any implication of optimal requirements. Now, if you're wondering what that means, I understand. It's government talk and it can be a little confusing. So let me explain. When you're looking at a food label and you're aiming for 100% of your vitamins and minerals, even if you did get 100%, which most people do not, you still wouldn't be healthy. Those guidelines are really only there to help you prevent things like scurvy and rickets. They were never meant to make you healthy. And food labels may not be as accurate as you think they are. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they're not. Food labels are allowed to be up to 20% off. This, of course, begs the question, are they really that far off? Luckily, abcnews.com did a study and found out. April 7th in 2008, ABC News pulled 12 different foods off the shelf and found out that all 12 were off by at least one nutrient. 3 were over the 20%. Ritz crackers with 36% more sodium, Wonder Bread with 70% more total fat, and David sunflower seeds with 23% more saturated fat. In case you missed the middle one, Wonder Bread had 70% more total fat than was on their label. But at least now we know where the marketing came from, right? With that much fat, you have to wonder if it's bread. I pride myself on research and was doing a little more, seeing if maybe things have gotten better since that study in 2008. And, lo and behold, they have not. In January of 2013, Good Morning America ran a story where now they say companies are committing food fraud. See, you might be looking at paprika, and when looking at that spice, you want one that's a bright red color. So you pick the best looking one. It turns out that paprika might have artificial chemical dyes in it that are not on the label to make it look like the best choice. And that's not all. They found out that much of the extra virgin olive oil they tested wasn't really extra virgin olive oil. Sure, it might have had a little olive oil in there, but many of them were largely canola oil. Even the way we farm is much different than it used to be. This is a modern day commercial farm from which we will get our beef. That, of course, begs the question, what do all those cattle eat? I did not see a whole lot of green pastures for them to graze on there. Now, most people are aware that unless it says grass-fed, it probably isn't. And what most people think is instead, those cattle are fed a diet of grain, the grain normally being soy or corn. And that's partially true. But to understand the full truth, you have to understand the great circle of food. See, what they do is they take the cow that eventually we're going to cut apart, and they take all the prime cuts of that, and they sell that off to the market. All of the leftover scraps you have to do something with. Now, what could we do with the leftover scraps and the bone meal? Well, we can grind all of that together and then feed that to our chickens. Yuck. Chickens eating cow and bone. Certainly not the way it was meant to be. Now, those chicken, of course, are going to have a lot of waste and excrement, and we don't exactly want to, dispose of that. No, we want to recycle and reuse, or make a really cheap food-like substance. So what they do is they take this mixture of chicken manure, sometimes dead chickens, feathers, and spilled feet, and they rend it into a uniform substance that they will then call chicken litter. What do they do with this chicken litter, or poultry litter as it's known in the industry? Well, they mix it with grain and feed it right back to our cattle. So now we have cattle that are eating chicken litter, manure, and possibly dead chicken parts, where they're never meant to eat that. And don't forget, those chicken were first fed cow and cow bone meal. If you think what our animals eat is gross, think about what we eat. Does this look familiar to you? If not, don't worry. We'll turn that into this. You've probably seen this before. It just doesn't look like this picture. It looks a lot more like this. Yep, a chicken nugget. Now don't worry, not all chicken nuggets are this pink, chemical, slimy mixture. Nope, this is mechanically separated chicken. You also may have had mechanically separated pork or mechanically separated beef, or all three of them mixed together in what's commonly known as a hot dog. See, what they do is they take all the prime cuts and they sell those. Then they take the actual carcass and they scrape off everything they can or put it in a centrifuge and spin kind of the meat right off of the bone. They mix that all together into this, and then spray it with ammonia to deal with the E. coli and salmonella count, which tends to go up when you process meat in this way. They take that mixture, bread it, fry it, and serve it to us as chicken patties, or chicken nuggets, or hot dogs, or preformed little hamburger patties. Remember, you're looking for the keywords mechanically separated. Yes, they do spray it with ammonia, but don't worry. They add artificial chicken flavoring, or if you're lucky, natural chicken flavoring, to make it actually taste like chicken again. Keep in mind, there's nothing natural about this natural chicken flavoring. Sometimes people say, well, I don't eat a lot of meat in general. I turn more towards vegetables and other products. Well, many of us eat a diet that is comprised mainly of corn. If you look at ingredients labels, you're going to see corn in almost everything. This just shows a nutritional comparison of cornmeal from an heirloom variety to a more conventional cornmeal variety today. You can see the protein content has gone down, the fiber has gone tremendously, as have many of the vitamins and minerals. As a matter of fact, over the last 50 years, the amount of protein, calcium, phosphorus, iron, riboflavin, and vitamin C in conventionally grown fruits and vegetables have declined. Even wheat has about half the protein it used to have. This is why you might want to look into a good, high-quality multivitamin. Without nutrients, there's a lot of things in your body that just don't go right. Not only does a good multivitamin help to support the immune system and cardiovascular function, it does something else pretty critical. It helps to turn your food into energy. Another thing that I've noticed is a lot of people tend to overeat, and that's for a pretty good reason. If you're eating and eating but not getting any nutrients, your brain might not ever say, hey, stop, until your stomach is so full that it just can't take any more. At that point, it sends a signal to the brain and says, hey, I'm full, you need to stop eating. The brain stops, but a half hour later, you're hungry again. And you might wonder, how is that possible? How can I eat till I'm stuffed and then be hungry again a half hour later? And that's because if your body doesn't have the nutrients it needs, it's going to keep sending the signal to you to continue to eat. Furthermore, if you take certain prescription or over-the-counter drugs, they may gobble up vitamins. Just something as simple as an antacid might affect your B vitamins, calcium, iron, and zinc levels. Therefore, it's even more important if you take over-the-counter medications or prescription medications to get certain nutrients into your body. Next, I want to talk to you about a product called OPC3. OPC3 is an antioxidant. And antioxidants are something that you hear about in the news and read about all the time, and for good reason. See, antioxidants help to fight off something called free radical damage. Your body can handle a little bit of free radical damage, but if you get excessive amounts of this free radical damage, it can lead to or further certain disease states that you see on the screen here. Now, while you're looking over this list, keep in mind it's not comprehensive. There are actually over 200 different disease states that are linked to free radical damage. This is why you hear about antioxidants so often in mainstream media. You may have wondered, well, how does an antioxidant help with the eyes and the immune system and joints and skin and my blood vessels and cardiovascular health? How can one group do so much? And that's because when you get a good antioxidant in the body, it helps to slow down that free radical damage, therefore helping to slow over 200 different disease states that are furthered by free radical damage. Now, while OPC3 is a great antioxidant, or free radical fighter, it's also a very powerful anti-inflammatory. And you might wonder, why is that important? And really, it's because we tend to eat a diet that causes a lot of inflammation. If you look at your screen now on the right-hand side, you'll see what compromises most of our diet. A lot of fast food, fried foods, meat, oils, processed foods, sugary foods, even fast food. If you look at foods that eliminate inflammation, things like nuts and avocados, spinach, most of your vegetables, preferably in a raw or lightly steamed state, we don't eat a lot of those foods. So while we're out there eating a diet that causes inflammation, we may be fueling disease states that are caused and furthered by inflammation. You might be wondering, which disease states are those? Things like cancer, diabetes, neurological diseases, autoimmune diseases, arthritis, cardiovascular disease, and even Alzheimer's are all fueled by inflammation. The reason this is important is because if you're going to take something like OPC3 as an anti-inflammatory, you might wonder, how much of this do I need? And while one serving is a good baseline for people, if you eat a diet that's high in inflammation, you may need more than 1 cap. Next, I'd like to talk to you about B vitamins. And when it comes to B vitamins, we have an activated B complex. Activated simply means that the cofactors are already in this product so that you get very high absorbability. It's quite different than what most people might buy over the counter. B vitamins are important because according to the doctor's complete guide to vitamins and minerals, a B vitamin deficiency may show up as things like bloating and gas. Now, if you eat broccoli or eggs, you're going to have gas. That's normal. However, if no matter what you eat, you just feel bloated, you could have a B vitamin deficiency. Spotty hair loss, lower back pain, numbness in the lower extremities and the hands, heartburn, constipation and diarrhea, headaches, possibly migraines, a sore throat, sores on the inside of the mouth, tongues, gum, anger management problems, mood swings, depression, fatigue, insomnia, nerve impulse problems, suddenly having your eye just start to twitch, or when you go to sleep at night, your fingers start to twitch. All of these things could just be signs of a B vitamin deficiency. And this makes sense once you realize what B vitamins can do. You see, B vitamins are critically important for the metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, proteins into energy. Furthermore, they're important for red blood cell formation. They help with tissue repair. And they're also critically important for nervous function. So obviously, if you're missing this classification of vitamins, you could have any number of things that begin to go wrong in your body. Lastly, I'd like to talk to you about calcium. Now, when it comes to calcium, most people realize that you have to have calcium for strong bones. What they don't realize is that bone is pretty active in the body. And what I mean by that is it's a metabolically active tissue. Your bone is actually being built and broken down constantly. It's not just stagnant. If your dietary calcium levels get too low, you can actually pull calcium from the bones in order to keep the blood levels where they need to be. Because of this, it's really important that you have adequate levels of calcium through your diet and supplementation. And it's really difficult to get through our diet, as we talked about earlier. However, a lot of people don't realize that calcium is also critically important for muscle function. You see, when a muscle cell receives a signal from nerves telling it to fire, the cell responds by allowing a flood of calcium into that cell. If your calcium levels are abnormal, either too high or too low, the process can be interrupted, and that can lead to muscle spasms. This might be part of the reason so many people that supplement with calcium notice that their muscles feel better at night when they lay down, don't cramp as often, and don't misfire. Furthermore, calcium is critically important for your nerves. The regulation of the balance of calcium inside and outside of the nerve cell is involved in helping to control the flow of sodium in and out. This sodium flow is how nerves conduct signals to and from the brain. So if you have subpar levels of calcium, your nerves are not going to properly transmit their signals. Fortunately, all 4 of these supplements are available in what's known as our Daily Essentials Kit in that isotonic form. This kit is on discount right now. Normally $195.95 for these 4 products, now only $139.95. Now keep in mind, if you took 1 cap per day of each of these, that works out to be about a 90-day supply. That means for the entire kit, you're looking at only about $1.56 per day if you took 1 cap of each supplement. $1.56 a day for your health. That's less than a lot of people spend on their coffee habit or their soda habit, certainly less than a cigarette habit would be. It's even less than the price most of us pay for our cable TV, and certainly less than a gallon of gas. I find it ironic that people go out there and spend money on vitamin waters and energy drinks when those normally run between $1 to $3 per can. And they'll drink 1, 2, 3, 4 of these things per day, every day. In the meantime, they normally don't notice any long-term energy, and there certainly aren't very good vitamins in those. So how about $1.56 a day instead to get the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants that your body needs so that you can feel a difference every day? If you're interested in getting the products even cheaper, you can. If you go on auto ship, you will save an additional 5%. Now you can set that auto ship up however you'd want, every 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days. So not only do you lock in the price of $139.95, a huge discount over the original $200 price, you actually get another 5% off. If you're interested in saving even more money, you want to look into owning your own Shop.com internet franchise, also known as the unfranchise. With this unique business, you can be paid to shop online at stores you know and love. You can share information like you learned today with your friends and family in order to help them get healthier, and in the meantime, make a retail profit for yourself. The last thing that you really need to do is choose which kit is right for you. Today we covered the Daily Essentials kit. You could also get information on our Joint Health kit or our Complete Detoxification kit. Lastly, you could go with our Fast Start kit, and this is the one that I'd really like you to look at. The Fast Start kit will allow you to buy all of the products you learned about today at cost rather than retail. All of your reorders will of course then be at cost as well. You can then get together with friends and family, play this video, change their lives forever, and make a little bit of extra income to help you.